do apologize for our late start. We had a bit of an emergency. I had a bit of an emergency because Cheryl got there, tried to call me out. So I apologize for this late start.
Yes.
This very late start. But welcome to Let's Talk nonetheless. And here at Let's Talk, we like to talk about issues that matter to you. We try to come up with workable and practical solutions so we have more action and less talk. And this evening's topic tonight will be, can love sustain a relationship? Is love enough? Now, this is Valentine's week, and we're we're trying to get into that love spirit.
Yes.
And as you can see, well, first of all, I'm your host, Jason, with my co-host,
Cheryl,
and who is adorning her bright red
yes,
for the blood of Christ.
I love love.
And she loves love. Thank you for joining us. Call us at 352-8255. Share your thoughts with us, or you can share your comments in the chat, and we'll read it live, if we could see it. So,
And
as
this
I
is
was
going to be
saying,
a very short show because we still have to end at our regular time.
So
I'm
we'll
told.
try to get all this information in.
Yes.
And within this half hour, we'll get as much as this will prove to be an action pack.
Oh, really?
Lots of information, passion.
We'll see about that. But
Passion.
just before we get into that, Jason, why are you wearing black?
Okay, so yes, I started, right? I had my red shirt right there saying come festive. But as you guys know, I posed the question to my good WhatsApp crew, right? And when those answers start coming in,
Really?
I say, Jesus, I got to go into mourning for love.
Man, are you
I have
serious?
to go into mourning for love. I had my red shirt, but I had to put on my black because when the question was posed to my great WhatsApp family, the overwhelming and the resounding voice was no. Love is not enough to sustain a relationship. I had a hell no. I had a heck no. I had a for how long. I had a not without money. And I was like,
These
no.
were all guys?
All these were majority women. Men,
Are you serious?
Men rarely respond to social platforms. The majority of these were women. We had men inside it, but I'm going to tell you.
Did they substantiate their answers with, okay.
Some did. And let me just pull up
I'd
my
love to
numbers.
hear these.
My numbers. 28 said no. 6 said yes.
I might count it in the 28 because I said no initially.
I didn't count you. And
Okay.
that's not me or you inside there.
Okay.
So 27 said no. 20 and 6 said yes. And 2 maybe, depends. And then 3 not without money. So,
Interesting.
Cheryl, you would make 28.
I
That
didn't
said
say no. I said
would
no
make
initially, but
7 for the
I
yes.
said yes. I said yes.
Initially you said no,
because-
then you come
no,
back and
I said
change
it
your
because
answer.
I know that's what you expected me to say.
I expect a lot of you, Cheryl. You
But-
let me down all the time. So don't come try to say that you go for
He
what you
wants to fight
expect.
today, but I'm so happy. I'm so happy today. I'm not going to fight.
I
with
am
you
because they hurt my
as
feelings.
much. No, because the thing is, when you look at it, when you look at the question from a surface point of view, then you can say no. When you look at relationships around you, you can say no. But if you look at the question as how love is supposed to be, love in its purest form is enough. God loves us, that unconditional love, and because He loves us, He did everything that He did for us. So love is enough. However, the love that we are used to, the love that we're used to receiving and giving, is not enough to substantiate any relationship because it's usually based on what we're getting in return. It's a lot of times it's based on just specific aspect of what we like about the person. And then if you want to look at the varying types of love, the filial love, there are different types of love. So if you just have a sexual love for that person, that's definitely not going to be enough. When the person is no longer attractive to you, then you will lose that feeling. But when we look at love in its purest form, that unconditional love, when you love that person as much as you love yourself, then that is enough to sustain a relationship.
Cheryl, that last part you shouldn't say because some of us don't love ourselves. You say
Well,
as
that's true
much.
too.
Don't say as much. You
But-
should, now, if you
but
said
that's
more
true.
than we love ourselves,
No,
then
but you ought
get
to
it.
love. You ought to love yourself.
Yeah, so if we don't, if I don't love myself, how do I even expect to love somebody else?
Well, I can't expect you to love someone else, but I'm
I
just.
say, how
I'm
can
just,
I, not you, expect me? How
No,
can
I
love
can't
someone else?
expect anybody who doesn't love themselves to love someone else
Correct.
properly.
Correct.
You know, because it starts with you.
Yes, but
But we don't know how to love. A lot of us don't know how to love, to really love someone.
so
someone.
we should first of all begin with the definition of love,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it has to be a standard because everybody has their own definition of words nowadays.
Right.
Everybody changing up definition.
Mm-hmm.
So the only definition we can hold to, or what we should hold to,
Mm-hmm.
is the standard, which is the Bible.
Right.
And the Bible, according to the Bible,
Mm-hmm.
what love is definitely enough.
Yes.
But that's the thing. We don't know what love is. We
Right.
know the only love we know is that one where we have the feelings for.
Yes.
The eros.
That's yes.
You know, where
And-
our feelings are involved.
Right.
So
And
we
that
regulate.
one that
Go ahead.
keeps you floating.
Right.
That one that makes you all tingly inside.
Butterflies in the
That
stomach,
that
yeah.
in love feeling that we talk about and we crave that, and it's a high.
Right.
But that's what we, at the beginning of the relationship we feel towards someone, and then we lose it because that will not last.
Right.
And when we lose that, that's when issues start coming up. We start seeing the other person's faults and everything.
So we regulate it to a feeling.
Yes.
When love
but
is
it's
not a feeling.
Absolutely. I agree.
Feelings are byproducts of love.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
And feelings are byproducts of other things. But love in itself is a commitment to doing
Yes.
what is right for that other person in spite of how you feel.
How you feel.
In spite of how you feel. Because feelings change.
Change,
but
yes.
we don't know what love is. We weren't taught.
No.
We kind of go off the hip. We go by how I'm
Mm-hmm.
feeling, however we feeling. This person makes me feel good. They make me feel a certain way. They do certain things for me. So it's all about me. How
Mm-hmm. Right.
they make me feel.
Right.
Then, oh, that's love.
And
but
the
that
minute-
isn't it.
But even our parents didn't teach us to love properly either, and didn't love us properly because they used feelings as well.
Right.
A lot of times when our parents are angry at us, you can be angry at someone and still show them that you love them.
Right.
And you don't see anything else out of that interaction. But a lot of times depending on if we're angry, it's hard for us to show love, or for the other person to see love coming out of that. When we are hurt, it's hard for the other person to see that we still love them when they hurt us or they anger us or whatever. But love should be seen in spite of all those things.
Right. And the closest thing we see to that, even though you say sometimes our parents don't do it, the closest thing
Mm-hmm.
we see to that love is from our parents. Because they are the only ones
That's-
who
that-
still
yes, it
do
would be the
what's right
initial-
for us, even
mhm.
when they're mad at us. My mom, I pissed mommy right off.
Mm-hmm.
And she still can feed me.
Right.
I don't know if my wife can do that. Yes,
I'm sure she
I
will.
hope she will. I hope she, I can,
Don't
I
feed
can
him
put that to the
today.
test.
For
I
that
can put to
comment
the
he
test.
doesn't deserve to
I can put
eat.
that-
So he's
no,
gonna
she,
put it.
I can put it to the test. I can mean to
So,
take her off and see if she can feed me.
Oh my gosh, I'm sure you've done that already.
Not intentionally.
Not intentionally.
Not intentionally.
Oh, so you're gonna intentionally? Oh,
no,
wow.
I'm gonna
So
intentionally
let's-
make her mad
let us
and see
know.
if she can do.
Let us know next week
That's
how
my
that
little
experiment.
Let's see how that works out. But our
Mm-hmm.
parents are the only ones who do that because I do that with my children.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they run me right up here.
Mm-hmm.
But in spite of that, after I then discipline them, I go right
Right.
back to loving them.
Absolutely.
And if they need something, I definitely won't withhold
Withhold
it
it
from
because,
them
right,
because I'm
of
angry
how
at
you
them.
feel. Absolutely.
And that's the love we should carry into our marriages, right? Or
Yeah,
with
or-
our committed relationships.
Right.
Right? That's not just hold it to marriage.
Okay.
Because, people are aspiring to be married.
Yes.
So if you're working towards
Anybody
that.
in a relationship should be the end goal, correct?
Right. So this feeling, so for all my no's out there, for all my no's, and I had a overwhelming set. See, y'all got me wearing black. Morning love, For all you out there, I think you need to really try and find out what the definition of love is. Mm-hmm. Because I think you said no because it was based on a feeling.
Right.
And it mightn't be your feeling towards your spouse. It might just be what you see your spouse or your partner is giving to you. So that's what might make you feel
Right.
that love isn't enough. Because your partner's love definitely isn't keeping you there. It's probably your commitment.
but love cannot be hidden.
No, it
So
shouldn't
if
be.
someone loves someone, they will see it. They will hear it. Because love cannot be hidden. God's love can be seen blatantly.
Blatantly.
And so, like the Bible tells us too, for God so loved the world that he gave. So when you love someone, you give of yourself, you
Definitely.
give of your assets, you give of your
Definitely.
time, you give of your emotions. So love can, and that's why too, I believe a lot of persons would have said no, because they're not receiving love. They can't see it and hear it. And if someone loves you, you should be seeing it and hearing it. But love is enough if we are actually loving the people that we're with. And a lot of
Yes.
people are in relationships and are not loving the
Oh,
persons that they're with.
You know, they said that's one of my commenters said, that's what's keeping a lot of marriages today. They're
What?
not in love. It's the commitment. They're committed to each other.
But love is a commitment.
Boom. They don't realize that.
Yes, that is
Love is
that is
commitment.
exactly.
That's
See,
one
a
of
lot
the
people-
attributes of love.
A lot of people want that feeling, Jason. Like you say,
And
they're
they keep-
chasing that feeling because they don't have it.
They
You are
regulate it to
there.
their feelings.
Thank you. You're there doing everything you're supposed to. A committed person is supposed to do. And
Right.
I hate to put the gender card in there, but a lot of us females, that's how we are. We feel like we're supposed to be feeling something. We're supposed to be getting, those jitters and all of that we may have gotten in the beginning of the relationship.
Right.
But
And-
that's not love.
And sadly enough, that dictates their response now.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not feeling it from
Yes.
your words, not from their husbands or their male partners.
Right.
Now they're saying, oh, I'm not in the mood for doing what I
The
should be
things that-
doing. That I
right.
should be doing for my partner
Yes.
because he's not making me feel a way.
Feel that way. That's true.
And that's wrong. So now it's going around. It's a vicious cycle because
Mm-hmm.
now reading off of that feeling, well, I'm here doing what I'm supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
But because she's not feeling it, she's not going to do it. So now I'm not going to do it. So here they are in a loveless relationship,
Mm-hmm.
just waiting for the other one to do right by them.
And I agree with you. But sadly too, some people who are in a relationship where the other person is showing them love, but because they want the feeling, they compromise the relationship for someone who gives them that little feeling
Feeling.
of infatuation or the little excitement that they're chasing. And they're in a relationship with someone who's committed to them, who's
Right.
doing things that a person who loves someone else ought to be doing.
Right. So the person who they're with is going beyond their feelings, doing the right thing, but
Right.
because they're not making them feel that little, what they say, the 80-20,
Right.
the person could be doing the 80%.
And then,
They're
yes.
committed, staying there, doing all the whatever loyalty, faithfulness, and grinding for them, but because they're not giving them that eros, the romantic, and making them feel that puppy love like how they used to feel. Now the
Right.
peanut boy on the corner, tell them how beautiful they look. Now their head's swooning because he's
Yeah.
telling them these sweet
Yes.
nothings, and the husband,
It's not.
he isn't doing that for whatever reason.
Right.
So she throw away, she risks the relationship for the feelings,
Right. That's
which
true.
will definitely change. And men do the same thing. So we're not going to just, only because Cheryl
Yes.
brought up the female thing, I said
Right.
that. But
You
men do the
just
same
happily
thing.
jumped on
you
it.
know?
Yes, I think both persons do the same thing, but I think what couples, each individual who's in a relationship needs to understand your partner and what your partner needs, and be willing. We can't always maintain the freshness or what we
Never.
used to do.
Never.
People change, times change. Sometimes we had more money to go out a lot, to entertain a lot, to do all those things. Now your family may look different. You may have children. You may have, it's a different dynamic. Maybe you're saving
different
towards a home.
Right.
There are different things. Your finances are affected in different ways, and you're not able to wine and dine each other like you used to. So we have to grow with our relationship and understand each other.
definitely.
But I think a lot of times, too, we need to communicate.
Definitely.
Communicate, and we don't like to talk about some things that affect us. We prefer to talk to everybody else but the
Yes,
person
yes,
who
'cause
we're with.
We're looking for a yes corner now. We're looking for a yes corner. We're looking for somebody to make
Well,
us
it's easy to
feel
find
better.
that as a female because we're
Definitely,
always
right?
there waiting to say, really, that girl?
If I was you, I wouldn't. Girl, you putting up with
Trust me.
and you're getting all this information. I mean, this advice from a person
Somebody
who's
who's-
single,
Yeah.
who have failed at many relationships, and they can't wait for you to get back out there with them so y'all
we can
be
hang together.
single again and park on the prowl, right? But so much of us, we're selfish. We're selfish human beings, and,
Yes.
and the love we look at is from a selfish aspect.
Yes,
You know,
I agree.
what can this person do for me? How does this person make me feel?
Mm-hmm.
And if they're not making me feel this way anymore, then they don't love me.
Yes.
Rather than looking at, well, they're still here, they're still
Mm-hmm.
they're faithful, they're loyal, they're committed, they're still doing all these other things.
Other things, yes.
But so many things can make you change the way, change your feelings, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can't base on feelings. A tragedy could happen in your life, death,
Yes.
work could be stressing you out. So all of this plays on a person's psyche.
That's true.
Men don't talk it, but we carry it around.
Right.
So we shut down. Now he's walking around all quiet, deep in thought. He doesn't want to say it because he doesn't want to burden you down. So you figure, oh, he's not talking to me. He don't love me. Or he's so withdrawn. He don't do this for me. And he don't say this, no, he don't love me. He must be thinking about another woman. Something like that. The man, on the other hand, oh, she ain't getting as freaky as she used to anymore. She ain't gonna bust it like how she used to drop it no more. She must be
Yes,
dealing with
she's
somebody
lazy.
else. That
She
time
doesn't
the
wake
woman
up 2
just
o'clock in the morning.
yeah. When I top her, she used to be ready. Now when I top her, she she
Yes, because everybody's so selfish.
yeah. But you never know what she was going through. Her body's
Absolutely.
going through changes. You don't know. You know your hormones dictate a lot of how y'all react. And move.
Yes.
And a lot of us men don't take that into consideration. So, but if we move in love, we'll see
We're
beyond the
more
feelings.
compassionate and
We
considerate,
move
yes.
beyond how we feel and start looking at, well, what's happening in that other person's mind.
Yeah.
Why aren't they doing what they used to do? How can
How
I
can I exactly
help them get back on that level? How can we get back there if that's what I need?
Right.
But we're selfish. You know, you're not making me feel, here again, feel the way, so it isn't
Used to
love.
feel- right.
So
That's
love
right.
can't, love isn't enough. Now, like we say, the commitment, the faithfulness, the drive to go out and get the money, love makes you do that. Because you don't want to let that person down. So love
Exactly.
inspires you.
You want to
One
satisfy the
said,
needs of the
love is the
person. Mhm.
fuel that
Yes.
makes you go and get what
And
you
do
need to
those
get for your
things.
partner.
Exactly.
So
Man, he wants to put her in a house.
right.
She wants, and that's the thing, because in the initial stages of your relationship, you're finding out the needs of the other person.
Right.
And for the duration of the relationship, you're trying to fulfill those needs.
Right. He wants to do what makes her happy. He
But-
wants her to be happy. So that's his way of love, expressing love. So he goes after that. Her,
Right.
same thing. She wants him to be happy. So she does what makes him
Makes
happy,
him
makes him
happy.
feel good.
Exactly.
And her love for him makes him do that. So it's the love that drives us to even sometimes put ourselves in a, not compromising, but a uncomfortable situation.
Yes.
It makes us sacrifice. That's the word.
Yes.
Love makes us sacrifice how we feel
Right.
for the other person. So
And
in my
sometimes
opinion-
the sacrifice may affect the relationship, but that's where understanding comes in.
Yes.
Because if you have a financial cause and he's taking on a lot of overtime just to fulfill that need, then you turn around and complain about the fact that he's
Why
not at
you
home, he always working, and you know why he's always working.
Oh, but you're so selfish. You just want that time.
You just
want to
you want to see him,
and you want to talk with him.
but you want the
him.
money and you
Yeah.
want the comfort of that kind of living. So the man is also in another situation where it's frustrating
Right,
because
so I'm out here working, and for funny, I know of a situation like that. Husband and wife, they were financially strained. He took on 2 jobs so that he could take the burden off her, so she don't feel it. And then she turned around and complained and said that he's working too much. And only the grace of God stopped me from drawing back and slapping her. Because she came to me complaining, saying that she's so stressed out, the house was so tense because the bills were so high. And this one job wasn't doing it. So
Wow.
she complained to me. He went and got
well,
another
we know
job.
you fixed her straight.
You know that. He
Yes,
came to me and
that
she
hesitation.
he went and got another job and he
Wow.
breaking his back. And then she can complain months later, oh, he isn't home enough.
It's women like that
And
who,
I look
who
at her and I bite my lip and I say, y'all.
can be pleased.
I say, wow.
We can be pleased.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to reach out and touch her.
Yeah.
But one of my commenters said, no, love is love. My response is no. Love is an important quality in sustaining a relationship, but not enough. You can love from afar, but not want to be in a relationship with that person. Other factors
That's not
such as
love.
respect, kindness, trust, patience, communication, and friendship combined with love makes for a sustainable relationship.
Okay, true.
But all of those are byproducts of love.
Of love, I was about to say. Yes, they are, definitely. I see we have comments.
Oh,
So we need a Boodle say, hell no. Well, we addressed that in the beginning. He said, love don't pay no
love
one
don't pay
bill.
no bill.
It does. Like Jason says, the fruits of love pays the bill.
bills,
Because
right.
if you love somebody, you're going out to work so that you can pay their bills.
Aja says, no, it is not enough.
Not love as we know it. I agree. Not
Yes.
love as we know it. Not love on these streets.
Not on the streets. The streets. That's why I say they
Yeah.
changed the definition of
Of-
everything.
exactly.
Right? So,
Exactly.
love as today, as the world is describing it,
Uh-huh.
is smiling.
No, I'm looking. I know the name.
Oh.
Sadie Wilson says, it depends.
It depends. That's another one for depends.
Yes.
Oh,
Say it is.
Aja says also a very vague question. Yeah, it is. It is. So we ask those questions because we want you to
Right, to
expand on
think
it, to
about it,
expand on
right.
Leah says true action,
Action
true
required.
action required. Yes.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Definitely agreed.
I previously disagreed, but after the explanation, I would agree. Oh, okay. So I guess
true
these
Lord.
were earlier comments.
Right.
But yeah,
and
see-
we did say that too at the beginning that
Yeah.
when you look at the question just like that, of course we'll say
Of course.
yes.
Of
But
course.
in love in its purest form, like I said, if we love the way we ought to love, then it is enough.
Right. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you say love is not enough, then what Christ did? He did that for love. So
what
you're saying
else is
love.
there? Right. Hmm.
Anyway, but we don't want to put our people,
Would you
commenters on
would
the
you give
spot.
your life for your wife?
Yes. I would
No
not,
hesitation.
No, I would not ask
No
any woman that.
hesitation.
I saw.
Wait.
We always just go off on a stray, right? I always
No.
just plug this here. I saw that same question asked to a group
Uh-huh.
of men and husbands. No hesitation.
Yes.
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 And the women were hesitant, and they were no. He already lived his life, I gotta go and live mine. And the women were, wow. Mr. Peluso, you can put
Yes.
the comments back. Let's get back.
Yeah, Jason, you talks too much.
The Bible gives the definition of love in 1 Corinthians. If we're talking about that kind of love, then yes.
Yes.
The love of Christ. Yes, thank you,
Yes.
J. John. Corinthians writer was never married. Vito, you just...
Who church we don't go to?
Yeah, we don't need cut him. He
You
always
go to your
saying
church,
something.
Jason, you better fix
We
it.
don't need cut him. Say the man who read Corinthians was never married. Jesus. Anyway.
I read no more of it.
Oh, Vito said Christ ain't had no nagging wife or girlfriend, especially a baby. Mr. Medusa. Who does
Please don't put any more of it.
Vito throwing big rock.
I am serious.
So,
See, but it's important that in the beginning of the relationship,
Yes.
though, we have to ask the person, what is love to you?
Yes.
What does love mean to you? And this has to be an ongoing
It has to be.
conversation.
it has to be.
Because this love is supposed to sustain the relationship, and everything we do and say is out
Son,
of love.
Right. And,
You know?
and you have to define what is, like you said, you have
When you
to
talk about
define it.
expectations, yes.
When she says, I love you, or he says, I love you, okay?
What do you mean?
What do you mean by that? Because when I say I love you, this is what I mean.
Absolutely.
And
yes.
find out.
But we don't
Because-
want, because I was talking earlier to the producer. We were having a long conversation before you came, Jason, and we were like,
Listen, she had
men,
to throw that inside.
we're talking about, before you came, 20 minutes late. But we were actually talking about the fact that how men don't open up, and women, we're always saying when we're not happy, we express our feelings. And I said, because a lot of times what makes us happy is wrapped up in the guy.
Right.
So we can become happy after a conversation with you, And I was asking, is it the same for guys?
No.
Is your and that's it. Your happiness is not wrapped up in us.
No.
So that's a big difference, though.
It can be, and it's not wrapped up in what you say more than what you do.
Absolutely.
So where you women might be caught up on words and the nice sayings and
Right.
sweet
We need
nothings,
that. We do.
It's
do.
for us. It's more of us watching you and seeing that, hey, you have my back.
Right.
You want to be my peace. You actually making an effort
Right.
to please me, to meet me where at. That's what gets us. And we are slower to say I love you. Generally.
Because you were observing.
Yes. And when a man says I love you, majority of the time he really means it. Not saying that women don't mean it. Ours isn't from a feelings aspect. It's from an actually meaning aspect. We ready to lay our life down for you. Like most men. That's why we don't propose right away, you know. Most men. We don't, because you know why? We thinking it through. Am I willing to die for this woman? And if we reach to that point, then we say, okay, I can marry her. And that's why most husbands will say, yes, I'll die for her. Whereas a woman, you ask her, it depends on which day you ask her. It depends on
Or
which
the time
day
of
you
the
ask
day.
her.
Or if it's before
Or
lunch
you
or
say,
after
the time of the day,
lunch,
she's
or-
gone even deeper.
Yes,
See?
or,
So,
you know.
because you guys are more wrapped up in your feelings. We can do it logically and think about, okay, yeah, she pissing me off today, but...
But no, we're going to say, well, what about the children? If
What
I
about
die
the
for him,
children?
who's going to take care of the children?
We can definitely take care of the children if
We
we
don't
willing to
know
die.
that.
Hold on. Statistically
No,
shown
no,
is
not me.
proven
I
that
was not
single
answering-
father homes fare
You
just
asked
as well
5 men,
as
Jason. Let's
mother
not
and
let's
women.
not
No.
let's not veer off to that.
No,
Your
'cause you
statistics
asked
was
about
like
the children.
five men answered that question.
No.
No, but no, I was only joking with that. I don't know. You'd have to ask women, and maybe that's something that we can do later on. Just don't ask me on the air.
Because we can
But-
only do it. We can only do it.
But different. You
And the
are
sad
correct.
thing is, right, we know a lot of us has accepted that you won't die for us, you know. Men have just settled for so long, for so little.
Oh boy.
I'm telling you.
Did the show just become about
No,
woe
I'm
me?
serious.
I
I'm
am
serious.
man. Woe is me.
No, Cheryl, if we start talking, you just say, man, don't open up. We don't open up. Why?
I was gonna ask you to open up right
Anyway,
now.
anyway,
Go
let's
open
move on. Let's get back onto that. Vito says,
We
Christ
did that
ain't-
already.
Oh, he had no,
I
it's
think
so
there's
good
a
he had to
reason he
read
put
it
that
again. He want to say it
The
again.
producer is definitely against them.
The writer was referring to the love of Christ. But that's true. Boy Vito, okay, dying for Boy Vito, you might have a point there.
Oh my God, he's
The
recruiting
man
Jay
that-
John.
the man-
And Jay John
the
is
man
one of
that-
our very good commenters
Yeah.
who normally have
We ain't
solid
need to go
things.
on the dark side.
We don't need him going.
Not with Vito.
No.
But no, see, that's the thing. Christ inspires, or he commanded us, or he wants all of us to love the way he loved. That's what he said. Love
Yes.
as I loved you,
Right.
love the rest.
Right.
You know, lay down your life for your brother as I lay down my life for you. So that's what he
But the thing
encouraged all
is,
us to
though,
do that.
right? And I do understand, because if you're going to say that, I will die for someone. You know, and that is not an easy thing to say.
Correct.
So the fact that you're saying that you would do that, that means everything else, how the people say, everything else is gravy.
Right.
But for a lot of us, we can't give up some simple things
But
that
you
you're
go to
asking
extreme of
us,
dying, but you
right,
don't
so-
stop drinking, or you don't start going out,
or wearing
stop
tight
cheating.
clothes, or wearing
Right,
whatever.
right,
You know
but
what
you
I'm saying?
say
So
you
simple
die,
things, but
yeah.
I'll die for you. So
I die for you, but I ain't gonna stop being promiscuous.
So even that we have to, when people say things like that, a lot of times what you do is more important than what you say.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So it's
Talk
important.
is cheap and money by land.
Exactly. And that's why love is action.
Yes, it is.
Because God could say whatever, but he showed us how he loves. And that's why for anybody, you must see that love. You have to see it.
You
Or
are
is
right.
it doesn't exist
Man,
if
Cheryl,
you're
we
not
talking so
seeing
much.
it. What?
One of my commenters said the exact same thing. Love is action.
Yeah, man.
Like faith, love is action.
Yes.
You know? So another one of the commenters said, the world's definition of love is which is lacking. No. But love as it comes from God, yes. But learning what that is requires our minds being renewed, and most of us aren't willing to undergo that process because we think we know what love is, but we don't. If it can cover a multitude of sin, why not enough to sustain a relationship?
Absolutely.
Just
You know
shows
why,
where
though?
our human. Just shows where we are as humans and how far we have fallen from grace. So it should be based on God's definition, but it's not. It's based on the world's definition.
That's true. And where it becomes difficult too, Jason, if one person is loving in that way and the other person isn't. But let me just ask you this. Do you think a relationship can survive with one person loving that way, God's way, fully committed, and the other person isn't?
It can. I don't think it's a
agree.
yes or no.
I agree that it can.
Because it has. Where one spouse, and most of the times it was the woman doing this, I got to give them the credit. The woman stuck through it. She stuck through her husband's bad behavior or the way her husband's negative behavior,
Right.
until her love won him over, and he
Right.
realized, hold on, this woman really down for me. And he changed his ways, and now the marriage is
Yes,
like that.
and we've heard many stories
Yes.
about that. Yeah.
And then you have sometimes where the person couldn't take the abuse any longer, and because of self-love, now they have to
Right.
step away. Even though they loved that person and were willing to die for that person, they wasn't willing for that person to kill them.
Yes, in so doing, yes.
So they had to step away. So it's not a yes or no. So
But
love can. If you don't go say, y'all gonna need an extra hour tonight.
Yeah, of all the times for Jason to come to the show late.
Man, listen,
I'm
that's the
sorry.
devil, devil just know how
Yes.
serious this topic was and how impactful it would be. So he
Yes.
just fumbled the ball. But we can try to get as much as this out and get as much information out. But guys, you still can call us,
Yes.
352-8255, and just tell us how you feel. We'll definitely honor that. Or send it in the chat if you see
Yes.
I haven't read your comment, because I had millions of them. And my I like to thank my church small group. That their dialogue was off the chain.
Okay.
They could have come here and just sit there and have the show for themselves.
Yeah.
You know?
You should have invited
Oh, they
couple of
wasn't
them
coming.
again,
They wasn't coming.
Or they just want to talk behind the,
They
behind the
safe
scenes.
behind their phone screens. They ain't coming on no show to talk. But they had a lot of good
Right.
comments and feedback.
good, yes.
And I really wish we had the time to just go through all of them. There's so much information I got.
We have another one here.
Go ahead.
Mr. says, boy, I believe my woman would die for me. And then I wake up.
Oh,
Okay,
don't do the
women,
females like that.
my
Women, speak up for
sisters,
yourself.
please come on. Let's put these guys to shame. If you would die for your husband, message right now so that we can put these guys to shame.
Yes.
Benita says, love tainted bad in these days. This era being guided by social media on what is and how to love. And
Yes.
he is correct.
He's
I think
correct.
that's what you said earlier,
He's correct.
Jason. Yeah, we let the world determine what we should
Right.
do. In a lot of cases, the world is setting the standard, and
Oh, it's
and the
sad.
standard is below ground.
Very
You know?
we got to dig that standard up how deep that is,
Exactly.
Cheryl.
And those of us who know better should do better
And that's
and
what I
should
was gonna
model
say.
it and shout it up, because the world, with their low standard, they're shouting it louder than people like us
Definitely.
who know better.
They're changing the definition of everything. Why we can allow them to continue? They take
Yes.
the rainbow, they taking the definitions of what male and females are, and now they
They
then
add
had
to the
love.
genders.
And now they hijack love and saying, love yourself, and then
Self-love
Self-
is the most important.
yeah, and it's the world just, slippery slope, fast paced down to hell.
Yes.
We know we had it, but for those of us who know better, we need to do better. We
And
know
I
what love
need-
is. We need to teach
And
our
I
children.
need a woman
and
to
show it.
text to say they'll die for their husband.
Yes,
Just to-
Cheryl needs a female. Where's the female crew? The girl crew. Stand up and say, I die for my husband.
Yes.
One of you females, don't even text it. Call the show and say it loud and proud. Make that man feel good tonight before Valentine's Day, before you get that big basket. And tell him.
that
and
well-deserved basket.
Whatever. Not if you ain't gonna die for him. You
That
ain't deserve nothing.
flowers.
You deserve your pot, your pan, and a hot stove. If you can't
And
say,
groceries.
if you can't stand up and say proudly, I die for my husband. I can go on radio and say that. Go live and say that.
You already said
I
it,
said it.
Jason. Yes. Thank you so much.
This is a no. Love is not enough. First, God is very important. Then each person in the relationship have to put each other's needs before their own. Then there has to be trust, appreciation for each other, and of course, respect. With all those characteristics, the relationship has a strong chance to be successful. And then you have a yes, of course, again. Yes, it's the foundation to support everything. It's the choice to support, encourage, inspire, develop, and drive the essential elements that sustains a relationship. Finances, safe living, environments, cultivating respect, acceptance. They're saying love drives all of those things.
Yes,
which is correct.
absolutely.
And you have another yes, because I got to go with my yeses. They Mr. said, let me just get this comment. Cheryl asked for the ladies to say they die. And
Well,
the
but
comment says,
Terrell
crickets.
Smith sends eyes earlier.
Oh,
But
here we go.
there's my call.
That's the woman right
Y'all
here. That's the
shame.
woman right now. Right
Y'all
now.
shame.
Oh, I pressed the wrong thing? Oh, crap.
Now you don't know how to answer the phone?
Good night. You are on Let's Talk. What have you to say?
Good night. This is Terrell calling. Hi, Jason.
Hi, Terrell.
The conversation today in the small group chat was very, very intriguing, so I had to call in tonight.
Yes.
But I feel like I had a conversation with my class last week talking about the aspects of love. So you have intimacy, you have commitment, you have passion. And in Eastern culture, even in Bible culture, it usually started out with commitment.
Yes.
Right? And then the intimacy, friendship develop, and then passion. When you think about stories like Isaac and Rebecca, or even Jacob and Leah and Rachel, there were different forms of love that existed, but in all of them, commitment was first.
Right.
And I feel like we, in our culture, we go with the feelings, you know, the
That's the
passion and the
friendship first,
intimacy,
yeah.
and when the passion starts to die down, and we say, oh, we ain't in love with that person no more, we fall out of love.
Right.
But how is that even possible if you are
If you
are
never were
committed to a
committed.
relationship?
Correct.
So walking away from something, regardless of what type of relationship it is, if it's a parent-child relationship, if it's a marriage, I remember getting married and thinking, I so profoundly respect people that have been married for long term, like over 20 years, because this is something you could just say, you know what, I ain't into this no more, I ain't going. You can't do that with no other relationship. Your children, the police will come for your parents. God, you definitely feel like, oh my gosh, they already done so much for you. But marriage is something, commitment has to be involved in the relationship.
Absolutely.
Right.
In the love, you know, in the love aspect, because a lot of times you don't gonna feel it. You don't gonna feel it, but the commitment to it is what is important. And even when you look at the relationship of Leah, the relationship Jacob had with Rachel, Jacob had with Leah, his relationship with Leah was commitment first. He committed to it, unbeknown to him, right? But his relationship with Rachel was all the feelings. And
Right.
the Bible said that Jacob honored his relationship with Leah so much until he buried her with her forefathers. Rachel didn't get that. And so in the long run, he realized how much of a commitment he had made to Leah, and eventually I feel like those things came into place. So we have such a high rate of divorce in our country, in our parts of the world, because of all the feelings involved
Correct.
and the lack of commitment to love.
Because we do
Correct.
it backwards.
Correct. Yeah, we do it backwards.
We do it.
Correct, Terrell. Thank you so much.
But can you end by saying that you'll die for your husband? Please.
I would die for you, Theron.
All
I'd give my left kidney.
right. She got one.
I know.
Terrell was
She was
leaving.
gonna hang up without saying.
Terrell was leaving without saying that. If Cheryl didn't say that to remind her, Terrell was leaving. Terrell,
No,
I
she
actually
was
thought
gonna
you was
text
going
it.
to open with that. I really thought you was going to open with that. But nonetheless, you said it.
I will take
so
it.
She'll take it.
Yes.
You can take me off the list, Jason.
Okay. All right. All right.
All right.
Thanks, Terrell.
Have a good one, and keep up the good work, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right.
Vito again. Cheryl, you all only got 10 minutes left. You'll be waiting. Vito, she had to just twist her arm just now to say that just now. Because
And we're out of time.
We are
so-
not out of no time. We out of time when I say we out of time.
Oops,
But
okay.
we out of time. But I am so sorry, guys. I apologize again for being so late, but I had an emergency to deal with. And I'm so sorry that we actually have to end the show. Thank you for your comments. Thank you, all you guys who sent me, responded in the WhatsApp. I appreciate
We
it.
need to continue this next
We
week.
probably pick this up again next week just so that we can get all you guys' comments in. And I'm sure we didn't even scratch the surface of this topic.
No.
So, in our wrapping up,
In my wrapping up, and I wish we did have more time because I really wanted to go in. You know, every year, Jason and the producer bash me about women not doing anything for Valentine's Day and the fact that we think that we're supposed to receive stuff. And most of us just give the man what he already supposed to get on Valentine's night. So I beseech you, therefore, my sisters, in the name
Again.
of the Lord. All you wives, treat your husbands really special this week. Husbands are not just givers, they should be recipients of love and things bright and beautiful other than you. So let's just really cherish these men. On Friday, that day is for them as well.
And guess what? I am going to do a poll because Cheryl made the same plea last year. I guarantee you,
I
she made
did.
the same plea last year, and I'm going to do a poll because we can follow up with this topic next week.
All right.
And a part of that will be what you girls did for your husband.
I'm gonna do my.
I'm gonna
survey.
ask, what did you do? Did you go above and beyond the all ordinary? The thing that he was already promised to, the thing that he went to the altar for, and he stand before God, and you would only give to him and behold on only unto him. That same thing, but you always give, what you should have always give, I should say. Because you all turn around now.
She could put a bow on it.
Only give that on birthdays and special occasions. No, old bow and thing. No, give that man something more than that. And I ain't talking about switching up the position either.
Was this
I ain't
your
talking about switching up the
intentional
position
wrap up,
either.
Jason? Because I don't know how you jump on my bandwagon.
Listen.
Find your own wrap
No,
up.
listen, I lobbying for the men right now. I helping you all. Not
They're
that say,
fine.
don't
They're gonna
switching
bring
the
it.
position don't mean
They're gonna
switching the
bring it.
position ain't nothing new either. So don't even try that. Because you do two position now, you're on R3. Oh, I try something new. No.
for God's sake.
No, treat that man special. Find out, you know what your husband like. Give that to him. And if
Yeah.
that's all he wants,
Agreed.
give it to him in double proportion. Let him say that's enough. Give him an abundant, a flow and overflow, more than he can even handle. Kill him with it.
It's a family-friendly show.
Yes, we adults here. If your kids here, you shouldn't have been here. But anyway, listen, we talking about grown-up things and we're talking about love. Love, guys, find out what the definition is. Find out what your partner's definition is of love, and you give them yours. And then you'd know if you're all on the same page. But
True.
there's a standard for love. And that's what we're supposed to be going along. God's standard. Love is a commitment to doing the right thing for your partner, for your spouse, in spite of how you feel. Don't regulate it to a feeling. Don't let your feelings cause you stop loving your partner the right way. That's what God called us to do. You can be charged for it. Jason tell you that. Anyway, this has been Let's Talk. Thank you guys, and we'll pick this up again next week. Same time, same place. I can try to be on time next week.
Good
Y'all
night.
peace out.